Hey mamas, and welcome to the Entering Motherhood podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Marie Bilger, a wife, mom of two, VBAC mama, and doula. Join us every episode to learn from professionals, special guests, and moms just like you, ensuring that you know what you need to know and discover things that you didn't know before. I believe in you. Let's doula this, and let's navigate the transition of entering motherhood together. Hey mama, this is another episode of the Entering Motherhood podcast. This specifically is a doula talk episode, which if you don't know, we go live on Instagram. And by we, I mean me and Caitlin, who is the co-creator of our signature Own Your Birth childbirth education course. Please go look at that if you are looking for a childbirth education course. It's self-led online comprehensive course, and it is just packed with all the information that you will need to be able to feel informed and empowered as you navigate this stage of pregnancy and leading into birth and even the postpartum period. So we are so excited about that course, and we have been chatting and having these doula talks to provide you with more information to really own your birth and have information that maybe you didn't know or refresh your memory on things like that. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you ever have any topics that you feel like you would want to add or hear, if you have any questions, then please reach out to us and let us know so that we can include it in these episodes and in these conversations that we are having for you to really feel informed and empowered. So let's get this episode started. Hello, and welcome to another week of Doula Talk. We are going to have Caitlin join us hopefully shortly and get this conversation started. We are specifically talking about preparing for birth. So we're just going to be going in through a few things, us personally, that we're doing right now, that we're preparing for, and then also just other things that we suggest to our clients and things like that. So if you have any questions along the way, feel free to drop them in if you are here live with us, or you can always reach out to us if you're watching the replay as well. So let's give Caitlin a few minutes here to join us, and hopefully she will be tapping in and logging on with us. She might be a little bit. So I'll get started and just sort of talk about things that I'm specifically doing to prepare for right now. So I am well into my third trimester. We are really approaching the end of the road here with this birth. So specifically right now, I'm just making sure that we have all of our items in place, and we're starting to transition to that postpartum mindset, but specifically still just staying on birth. We are, and I say we, like my whole team, my husband, my doula, my midwife, like all of us are just in constant communication of what's going on and how things are going, which is really cool. We are having a home birth this time around, so there might be a few things differently that I'm doing compared to if you're having a birth center or a hospital birth. But in general, around this time, it's really good to make sure that you have, if you are having a hospital birth, your hospital bag packed. You have all of these items and such that you want to bring and have. I always suggest kind of having two separate bags. So you have a birth bag and then an initial postpartum bag. So that's going to be more of like, the onesies and the baby stuff and the postpartum products and things like that. But for birth specifically, I always say it's good to have more so comfort items that, you can't replicate in the hospital. The hospital is going to have blankets and pillows and birth balls and peanut balls and different things that are going to be like there for you. They'll have, some drinks or cups or straws or whatever like that. But if you want, like a charger for your phone, if you want a specific pillow, if there is a certain item that is going to bring you a lot of comfort, if you're interested in doing, little tea light candles, or if you want to have items for pain relief and things like that, maybe combs are really popular, which is useful if you haven't heard of that. There's specific birth combs, but you can also just use like plastic comb that's really hard. And essentially you're squeezing it and you're placing the spikes of the comb into your palm. And when you're squeezing that, it's creating just different pressure points in your hand, that the idea is to reroute the sensations that you're feeling there instead of wherever you might be feeling them. So that can be really helpful if you have, essential oils or a diffuser that you want to bring, and getting all of those things together, really starting to communicate with your birth team too, like what things look like, what your birth plan is. These are all things that are going to be, typically later because you've had time to really think about what you want that to look like and how you want that to go. And so now you're really kind of like putting the full picture together and saying, hey, this is what I want things to look like, and this is how I feel like I'm probably going to be. And just know, like, start to get in that mindset too, that you're allowed to change your mind. There's going to be things that come up that maybe you want to rethink or consider. I've had a lot of really awesome podcast episodes come out, and there's more to come. I'm really recording them essentially all now so that whenever baby does come, we have some that are flowing out throughout the rest of the year. And then this will be one of our last doula talks. Next week will most likely be our last one that we're wrapping up for the rest of the year. And then we will start back again in January. But yeah, like really just communicating like your plan and things like that. Caitlin and I both had cesareans for our first births, and then we had completely unmedicated VBACs for our second. So we always kind of like to talk about, having a cesarean plan if it does come to that, because with Caitlin, she had a breech presentation, so that was something that she had to prepare for and consider and think about and work on. But if, you're able to find providers that support breech, or if you are, doing different things. I know with her second pregnancy, she was really big on spinning babies and making sure that baby was head down. Whew. Making sure like those kinds of things were in place. And then, for me, it was completely just unplanned. I was in labor for over 24 hours and things were happening and cesarean was suggested. And I had, completely just blocked that out of my mind. I had said, like, that's not going to be me. I don't need to have a plan for C-section. And so now it's something that I really kind of just suggest or like have my clients consider, that if it does come to that, what kind of preferences do you prefer, or what do you want that to look like? Or if we can sort of, have time to facilitate what's going on in the OR, what does that look like? Just so you're kind of like aware of it. And then I just had a really awesome podcast episode come out about NICU. And so if that is part of your journey, more often than not, it's unplanned part. So you're either going into labor really early, or there's something, going on when you birth your baby that they need to stay in the NICU, or maybe that it's going to be part of your journey because there are, different things going on that you've seen in the ultrasound, or maybe you have twins and you know that they're going to come early and they might need NICU stay, whatever it might be. Having some sort of plan in place, or just being aware of those different kind of unusual circumstances so that you can kind of lay out a plan and then toss it aside, forget about it, not have to worry about it. And then yeah, just kind of like laying that out. So a birth plan is not only, like your dream birth scenario, but it's also kind of laying out all these what if scenarios, and you don't have to dwell on them or think about them long, or, be constantly sort of wondering about those scenarios, but just kind of listing them, putting them in place, and, saying, like, this is what I would prefer if this were to happen. And really, really just kind of like having that to consider. So preparing in that way, having, your birth plan in place, things like that. And then I'm still waiting to see if Caitlin comes on here. She hasn't jumped on yet. So we might be wrapping things up a little bit if she doesn't pop on. But I'm sure she'll be able to add things later on, like down in the comments. And I know that she's been sharing a lot about her pregnancy journey. She is a lot earlier than me right now. I believe she's out of the first trimester, but she'll be able to share a little bit more on that and how she's preparing and what she's going through. But yeah, like really kind of considering just like where you're at specifically. You don't have to have everything done day one. Like maybe you just found out that you're pregnant and you're kind of like, what do I do? Like, where do I go from here? I definitely suggest getting a doula and having somebody there to sort of talk through all these things. I love to really, get my clients thinking about, how they're preparing, what's important to them, really just check in with them and see how their appointments are going early on, and then start doing in-person prenatals and having deep discussions about what they just want to be happening for their birth and how they want that to go. Considering, maybe if you're super early on right now, you're preparing by finding a provider. You're finding somebody that aligns with the vision that you want. Caitlin and I have created a birth vision planner that you can get on either of our Instagram accounts or on our website. You can go and download that. And it's really just kind of like some questions that are guiding you through and making you think about, what you want your birth vision to look like and what you want, you know, just birth in general to kind of like be. And then from there, you can kind of start to make a plan. So it's like, okay, like if this is what my main goal, my main priority is, what are some little things that I can be doing to get there? Or like, who can I be connecting with or communicating with to really kind of get to that place. Yeah. So there's a lot of different things that you can be doing and working through. I think it all kind of depends on where you are, what week and what trimester and where you kind of are being placed. Right now, I even too am doing the red raspberry leaf tea and the dates. I did that for my son's birth, and I really feel like it made a difference. I don't know what it would be like without those things, but I am doing that again now. I'm also keeping up with my chiropractic care and going to at least like weekly appointments, sometimes even twice a week if I feel like it's needed. And then we're just kind of, yeah, we're, getting little things all prepped and packed and situated and allocated in different spots. And then it's just kind of waiting out and seeing where we go from here. And it's one of those, it's fun to wait, but it's also, a lot of like, is this it? I've been having a lot more Braxton Hicks this time. I don't believe I had any with my first two. So that has been some lovely sensations of just, hanging out, feeling some things happening, and then fizzling out. So I'm curious to see when it will actually be go time and what that will look like. But we are continuing to show up here for our doula talks and giving you, information if you need it. And as always, you can reach out to us through direct messages or, email us or whatever form of contact you prefer. We are here to answer any questions. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I guess Caitlin got a little preoccupied, but she'll be able to share some things later on today with you. and you can always reach out to her. I will tag her and make her a part of this doula talk as well. And as always, all of these doula talks are converted and put onto the Entering Motherhood podcast. So if you would like to listen to them there, if you want to just have more episodes and things for you to consume and look at and get, it is all on the podcast. So thanks for being here and tuning in. And we'll catch you next week. And we'll be talking about preparing more for the postpartum period. So if there's anything that you are doing to prepare for birth that maybe I didn't mention, or if there's anything that you are curious about or you want to know more about, then just let us know. All right. See you later, mamas.
Thank you, mamas, so much for listening. Remember, you are a rock star. I believe in you. Let's doula this. Let's crank it up a notch and let's kick it into high gear together. Hit that subscribe button, share this episode with a friend, message me, email me, call me, beat me. You know how to reach me. We're doing this, mamas. I am so excited to catch you here next week. This is your one-stop go-to place for helping you find the resources you need to make the best choices for you and your family during pregnancy, birth, and most importantly, postpartum. See you later, mamas.